So in this video I'm just going to look at the portable charger you get with Hyundai electric vehicles. So this is a portable charger where you've got a 3-pin plug on one end and then type 2 connector on the other end to go in the vehicle, and they're no different to any other portable charger. All portable chargers from all manufacturers all do exactly the same job, but the Hyundai ones are a bit different. They've got a screen in here. Not that it looks like a screen when you first see it, this just looks like the control brick, but this is all screen. So I'll plug it in and show you, and I thought this video might help if someone's buying an Ioniq and just want to learn what these things do. So when you plug it in, there you can see the screen. It's pretty pointless really, it's just a graphical representation of what you're doing, so it doesn't really help much, but it does look a bit different to other portable chargers. So let's plug it into the vehicle, and then we look around here at the screen. Car's now started charging, so the car is lit up now and it's showing you that we're charging. So I paused a little bit then because I'm not sure whether this graphic is actually showing you the battery state of charge of the vehicle. I've just had a look at the dash and the car is currently at 45%. So looking at that, it would sort of indicate that it isn't showing you the battery state of charge in the vehicle, because really only 2 blocks should be lit. But anyway, no other vehicle has that display or showing you the state of charge on the portable charger. They've usually just got a power light, a flashing light when it's charging, and an error light, and that's it. In fact, I've got one here on the floor which I usually use in the workshop, and as you can see there's just 2 lights on this one. They don't really need to tell you any more than that really. And I've got here a genuine Nissan one again, and like all of them they just give you 3 lights. So these do look a bit prettier, but that's all it is really. It's all just for looks, not really any information on there which is going to help you. But that was the point of the video really, just to show you one of these powered up. Oh, and the other thing is here, 10 amp. It is a 10 amp portable charger, and if we look at the label at the back, I'm not sure whether that's focusing, I haven't got my glasses on, but anyway it says there that the output is 10 amp as well. And all UK EV chargers, portable chargers, should be 10 amp, because you don't want to be putting more than 10 amp through the plug for many hours at a time. Even though a UK socket is rated at 13 amp, well I think actually they're rated at 16 amp, but anyway 13 amp is the maximum you're meant to put through them. When you're putting any more than 10 amp, or let's say this was 13 amp or 16 amp, if you put that amount of current through the socket for many hours, because an electric vehicle is going to be charging for 4 or 5 hours, it all starts getting a bit warm and your live pin can then get hot, and if the wires aren't tight in the back of the socket, then that's when you start having the wires melt and the pin can melt, and potentially you could have a fire. So any portable charger that you use in the UK through a standard main socket must be 10 amps or less. Some of them you can switch them and you can adjust the current and you can reduce it less than 10 amp, and that's particularly useful if you're going to use an extension lead. And I've done a video on the channel which I'll put a link up there and in the video description below, where you can see a review I've done of a charger which is switchable and you can reduce the current even still. So if you're buying a portable charger off the internet, just be a bit careful that you're buying the correct rated one, because I've seen 16 amp versions for sale in the UK. So if you're buying one on Amazon or direct from China or an AliExpress or something like that, while it may have a 3-pin multi-plug on the end and be a UK model, some of them have an output of 16 amp, and don't be fooled by that. Of course you will be charging your car a little bit quicker, but you're inviting yourself to having overheating problems and potentially a melted socket, or even worse, a fire. So if you're charging an electric vehicle in the UK through a 13 amp standard main socket like that, main plug should I say, it's got to be rated with a maximum output of 10 amp. If you want to charge at more than 10 amp, then you need to be using a proper 16 amp commando socket like this. or better still, a proper EV wall charger like this, which will charge your vehicle at 32 amp. So if you're looking to buy a used Ioniq from the factory, they all did come with a 32 amp Type 2 to Type 2 charge cable and the portable charger. But often if you're looking at second-hand vehicles, one of the charging cables will often not be included, and that's because the previous owner keeps them. So typically the first owner of a vehicle would have leased or financed the car, and what you find quite often is when they hand the vehicle back, they will keep the portable charger. That could be for two reasons. One is because they then want to use it on their next electric vehicle they've purchased. So often the car is handed back only with the one cable, and the finance companies, well, the people that collect the vehicles often don't realise this, so they're then often sold with only one cable. But the other reason is sometimes they will keep them and put them for sale on eBay to make a bit of money. But that's why I thought I'd make this video, because these chargers are no different to any other portable charger. All chargers do the same job. So if you've got a Hyundai, you don't need to buy a Hyundai charger. You could use that Nissan charger or any other brand, but just make sure that it's correct for your vehicle. So obviously if you've got a Hyundai, it needs to have a Type 2 plug on the end, but just make sure that it's limited to 10 amp. So with these particular ones, when the vehicle has been charging for a while, most of the display switches off, and then you just get this battery symbol flashing there to tell you that it's working. So the whole screen thing really is a bit pointless. So on one of my videos recently, actually it was the video on this car, I pointed to the charger and said that's a 10 amp portable charger, and someone commented and said, well, my Hyundai charger is 16 amp, and said no, they charge at 16 amp, and that's also the other reason why I am making this video. So they're not, they are 10 amp, and if you look at the back it says 10 amp output. If you or someone else has got one that says 16 amp, then that isn't safe to use when you've got a 3-pin plug on the end. And if you've got a 16 amp charger, it should have a commando plug on the end. But I've never seen a 16 amp version of these, and even on the older 2016 Ioniqs they still had a 10 amp charger like this. So anyway, if you do have a 16 amp version of one of these, then really you want to be swapping it for a 10 amp, and if there's 16 amp versions of this particular charger, let me know in the video comments below. I've never seen one. But yeah, if you do have a 16 amp charger, often there will be a way, sometimes with an RFID card, to knock the charging rate down. If you've got a 16 amp charger, do knock it down to 10 amp. Even if you're not in a rush, knock it down to 8 amp, all the better, particularly if you're using an extension lead. So anyway, hope that helps. If it has, as always, please do click the thumbs up button, that really does help. Do subscribe to the channel. If you want to know more about the Hyundai Ioniq, then I'll put a link to a playlist in the video description below where you can see other videos, and I'll see you on the next video.